All right, welcome back, you guys. It's gonna be a pretty short stream today. Some stuff to do later, but I did continue on through the run last night for a bit. I don't remember what split we were at last, but I've gotten hit a few more times. Like there are a few more things. So I got hit on Millennia because I did the sleep strat, but I think it's because I whiffed a throwing knife maybe in her poise reset or something, but I did the sleep strat and I did the R2 and I guess like a few things went wrong because her poise didn't break, which it should. But then even if it doesn't, it should still be fine. But then she just went into waterfowl. Like she canceled on waterfowl while I was mid-attack. And then I got hit on Yolan because I wasn't really paying attention and I was shooting Wrath from afar at her, and I didn't know she could like parry it back, or I don't know. I haven't seen it before, so that's what I got hit by. But yeah, so 4 hits so far. It's not too bad, but it's not great either. Not too bad. I was thinking it would be around 5 probably. It seems like it might be accurate. Yeah, it's going to be a short stream today. I don't think I'll be able to finish this run on stream today, but probably by next stream I'll have it finished and I'll have a baseline run, and then we'll start attempting it after that. So next week we'll be attempting it. But yeah, this is kind of the part of the run now where it's like it should be pretty free, but it's still important to go through it because, I mean, it would suck to lose a run just because I wasn't taking my time enough through these sections, so. Casme, thanks, dude. Death Knight set's actually apparently not better. It's only 2%, which is the same as Rakshasa set, so. So it is in fact worse. I wonder if the shackle here has enough range for that wall. Because for some reason the guy keeps hearing me up here. Like, I guess, does the shackle actually make sound? When all bosses randomized with no hit, no graces run, is right after you finish it, I will start it. I didn't finish the No Graces run yet, but I probably will at some point. I want to focus on finishing this run, though, before basically anything else. Like, what would be just ideal is I get it next week. But, like, I don't mean I'll have to basically get it in, like, less than 5 attempts, because probably almost every attempt will at least make it to the DLC, which is about 3 hours in. So you get like maximum 2 attempts per day, basically. This guy's a weirdo, man. I will never not find it funny how they gave this guy more health than the actual boss here. Yeah, this armor, each piece gives 2% of all damage types. So that's why the Death Knight armor, like, there's no point, because as far as I'm aware, Death Knight is also 2% per piece on, like, lightning or dragon cult or something incants. So yeah, I basically wear this armor set the whole run, actually. Like, unless I need to light roll, that's the only way. Probably fast to go from here, I guess. Yeah, this is how... Once we get past, like, the 90th split or something, then this is kind of how it all goes. Or maybe even less than that. I'm trying to think of if when I was doing the run off stream, if anything, like, concerning happened. I can't really remember. Other than that Yolan thing. And, like, I'll just have to go back for the Millennia Phase 2 and... Like, I'm fairly certain it's just because I missed a throwing knife. I missed the throwing knife and the poise reset. Like, I thought that was fine if that happened, but it's because I had the sleep pots out instead of the throwing daggers when I was starting phase 2, so I had to swap to them, and I think it messed it up. No Twinbreak Kite Shield? There's just no point. I mean, it depends on the build, whether it'd be worth it or not. I guess with the Blood Fiend's arm, I should probably... With the Blood Fiend's arm, I could put it in my offhand and go with it, but... Like, do I really need, like, 5% more damage? I don't think so. I haven't cleared all the DLC yet. I've cleared all the difficult things in the DLC, though. Although I can't see any DLC stuff left, but... I'm pretty sure there's still stuff. I love this incant so much for just blasting imps through the wall. Like, the main concern at this point in the run is just making sure that I do all the running sections properly. That's what I just need to focus on. Because the bosses are all... The bosses are all exactly what you just saw. Like, you walk in, cast a spell, and they're just dead. Yeah, last 2 hits. So I got hit by Millennia. Because... I guess I was saying earlier, just basically I was doing the sleep strat for phase 2, and I missed a throwing knife, so her poise started to reset, and then she didn't stun, and then I was... Like, I thought it was fine, and I was going to do, like, another tap R2 after. Because what happens, if you reach her fast enough, you can do, I think, charge R2 and a tap R2 in time. I thought. Like, I didn't really test it out that much with sleep. I only did it once or twice with this weapon. But what kind of messes it up is the double hit. So, like, she was asleep, and the first hit her, and then the second one, like, of the splash AoE, it, like, knocked her out of the sleep animation, which is not normally what happens with, like, the balls and stuff. And so yeah, I got hit by that, and then I got hit by Yolan as well before Ymir, because, whoops. What happened was, I was casting Wrath from afar, and she kept blocking it, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna keep casting it. And then she did the guard counter with that shield back at me. So, and I didn't even really realize she could do that. So, and I just wasn't paying attention at all. Like, I was looking somewhere else. I think I was looking at my notes. And then, yeah, and it just hit me. I was like, holy shit, dude, what the hell? So yeah, all good stuff to have happen on a run like this. There are clearly still a few issues. Actually, 3 of 4 hits are due to NPC stuff on this. Because I got hit by something to do with Anastasia at the start of Caelid. And then I got hit by Rakshasa, and then I got hit by Yolan. And then the only other hit was Millennia, so I didn't even think about that. I easily killed this guy, I guess. Nice one. The 3 or 4 hits have been NPC related. I actually don't know why I healed there. Trying to do level 1 run, but you got stuck at Fire Giant. Like what? It depends what part of Fire Giant you're getting killed by, because most of the time, getting stuck is just a matter of just trying to focus on learning the moveset, right? Oh, second phase. I mean, what you want to do is just try to stay close to him. And basically just play, like, just bait out his arm attacks and then just try to punish him. Like, they're pretty simple. When he does Fire Breath, the best way to deal with it is to try to run underneath his legs on horse. But you want to try to stay close to him most of the time so that he just doesn't do Fire Breath as much as possible. Erdbeer, thanks for the good luck, dude. Did he try to do his little stomp spin attack there? I didn't notice. That's generally what he does, but I don't know. It almost doesn't even matter because the hit stun on Nice Lightning Spear is good enough that he kind of gets stun locked by it. Oh, that's scripted. I didn't actually know that. That's weird. The mess that they throw, like, it literally does nothing. As I'm pretty sure it does nothing. What even is the point of breath deflection? I think they wanted, like, maybe they thought it makes the fights more I have no idea. Maybe they thought it just made it more dynamic or something, right? It's like, oh, this fire is bouncing off the ball and hitting me. I really don't know. It makes every single fight worse, though. I don't know how many buffs I need for this fight, but I should probably write it down. I would assume Howl plus Golden Vow is enough. I was actually a little scuffed because I kind of ran in a little slow there. I could also just like lightning spear him, I'm sure. How's it going, Crystal? Eventful day, dude. Okay, so a few things here. We got to go holy. Light of Mikola. Oh, I need to get rid of all this. It's so annoying how much crap armor I pick up on this. Just got flooded with like shit armor from all these bosses. Logging up my inventory. I never really like thought about this, but I could probably just wait here for this guy to come over here instead of like trying to rush over there and do all these buffs. The whole point of all these buffs is just so that we can one-shot the horse. So do this, and maybe we overkilled there a little bit. That seemed like maybe it was a bit of overkill. Oops. Here. Well, what I've been doing instead of selling the armor, I've just been discarding everything. I've just been discarding. Like whenever I have downtime, like here, just been going through. Just, I guess we don't need. I put fire in, right? Nice one.
Hey Gino. Good luck on the run. Less than 3.
Panda, thanks for the 21-month resub, dude.
Maybe I'll give you the best.
Hey, this one's like a little...
GG,
I mean,
my boy. Big
it's a little
love
precise
to
what I
you,
have to do here. It's not
Smiley face.
super hard, but... Another fight where we go with the full setup. Really does take a lot of time to do the full buff setup, like, for each boss. That's why when I was going through it, the route earlier on a lot of the early game stuff, I think when I did all bosses no hit before, I probably like used every buff for every boss, basically. But on this one, I'm like trying to make it a bit more efficient by just not doing that. Because it takes a while, dude. Like, doing this buff setup for like 207 bosses, that really does add up a lot. I think we're supposed to Knight's Resolve here. No, that's like... No, it's not 207 minutes of buffing, but how long does he... Like, if I do the full buff setup on every boss, how long does that actually take? I wonder. Like, it's probably at least... It's at least 30 seconds on every boss, right? So, like... That's actually an absurd amount of time spent buffing. Actually, just an absurd amount of time. Okay, so we go fire tier. Fuck. Oh, you absolute clown. Oh, that's why. Whoops. That was probably about half the damage it was supposed to be doing right there. Physics should be good. I guess what's nice there, like, even if I accidentally do that, it's the first time on this run I've actually done that, which is good. Even if I accidentally do that, I mean, he still has that attack that gets queued up. Maybe I should have regen stamina there. Whoops. It's weird. I've never noticed before how this guy lands in different spots every time. Like, I don't know why that happens. When I was doing all achievements no hit, I didn't remember him doing that. I'll put the holy tier in, I guess. It's probably overkill though, but I'll do it. Actually, I guess we are gonna go kill that Knight's Cavalry at the same time here, so actually makes sense. It's absurd what you can do in this game, man. Like, isn't it? Isn't it just ridiculous? It's fun, though. You know what? Like, this... On these Knight Cavalries, the extra projectiles that come after... It's probably the only time that I use this spell where those projectiles that come after are actually useful. Because every single time it just finishes off the Knights Cavalry. Every time. I wonder if this in-game time is pretty accurate right now. I'm trying to think of if I left the game running after a stream, because I do that all the time. Like, I'll end stream, but I just won't close the game, and so it'll just run for another, like, 2 hours. But 9.5 hours at this point seems pretty accurate. Because, like, look how fast we go through the bosses, dude. So there's still 77 bosses left, but we go through everything so fast. I don't need this grace. I don't know if it's possible to stealth this flower. I guess I could probably kill him with Rain of Fire if I really wanted to. There's just the slight risk of... Like, you just got to be careful while pulling this lever.
Maybe I'll be the best nut ever.
Right, because you don't want Miranda to start up that attack while you're pulling the lever, and then you're just, you know, you are killed, basically, immediately. Unless you get lucky. Two Folds, thanks for the 10-month resub, dude. Foley, thanks for the 4-month Prime sub. And Floppy Wiener, thanks for the 18-month Prime sub as well. Yeah, surely I'll remember all there is to remember on this run, dude. No, I'm not gonna have time to play Natria today. I'll continue it next week, though. I'm gonna make sure I have enough heals here. Yeah, so it seems like there's a few things I need to clean up. Elfman, how's it going, dude? Did I play DS3 Convergence on stream? I did, but that would have been like that VOD would be long gone for sure. That was before I started streaming on YouTube, so. Yeah, on this run, Soul Lifter, we have enough damage to, or I do the sleep strat in phase 1, and which scripts phase 1, but we just swapped to lightning here. But yeah, normally the way I would deal with it on no hit at least is Vow the Indomitable, but like just because it's the easiest way to deal with it. But you can also just dodge it by. The easiest way to dodge it is by being close and then running to the side when he starts it up, and then you can just like roll to the side and it won't hit you. But yeah, for no hit, I usually just use Vow the Indomitable to dodge it. I don't know if we actually need the lightning tier, but Doesn't hurt. Imagine comparing this playthrough to your first playthrough of the game. Where it's like you're fighting, you know, on a first playthrough, you're fighting all these bosses. Like I feel like a lot of people got stuck on the abductors if they found them. And then you just see this. It's like, holy shit, dude. I could have just done this. That's what got me into no-hit runs in the first place, actually. But it wasn't... Like, this is more just we have a stupid build, rather than, you know, like, being really good at the bosses. At least that's what this run showcases. It's a good build. A good route. But when I saw Dark Souls 3 no-hit for the first time, I was like, dude, holy shit. They beat Gundyr in like 3 minutes. And took me a couple hours.
We must free ourselves from the hope that
Elfman, thanks for the 1,000 bits, dude.
We must learn to sail in high winds.
Appreciate that, dude. You know, I don't know if I like the strat. I feel like that could easily go wrong. Because if he doesn't die there, then I'm kind of in big trouble. Because you don't want to be far away when he's doing that crawl. I wonder if I should... I mean, you can sleep him. But if I just use all the buffs there, like if I do the bleed setup with Red Feather, it should one-shot him. So maybe that's what I should do. I don't know. Usually Light of Mikola is not Light of Mikola is not a good DPS spell. Knight's Lightning Spear is, but going from Knight's or Light of Mikola into something else is very slow. The whole Light of Mikola animation is very long, so. This is still practice? I mean, basically, yeah. Because the run's not alive, but we're just setting a baseline PB here, and then... There's already been quite a few things that have gone wrong on this. Which is exactly why I'm doing this run and not, like, attempting it immediately, because... Think about how this run has gone. I've taken 4 hits, right? If I just immediately started attempting it, that would have been 4 resets of... significant amounts of time, basically. Maybe not the first one, but getting hit to Rakshasa, that's like a good 3.5 hours in, at least. Getting hit to Millennia is like probably maybe 5 hours in. Getting hit to Yolan's even further. Like, those are big resets, dude. So everything needs to be clean. With Millennia, it's just the phase 2. I did the sleep strat And before I wasn't doing it, but then just like kind of on a whim, I decided I was going to start doing it. And she just didn't stun because I missed a throwing knife, I think. It should be very easily correctable. It's just the strat was wrong, and I guess I kind of messed up too because I was a bit like I shouldn't normally be missing that throwing knife. I think out of all the boss fights on this run, the Fortis Axe might be the most hilarious. I don't know. There's some pretty like hilarious things that happen with this build. But I just think Fortis Axe, I go in with no buffs and I just instantly kill him. It's just so funny, dude. So you get the S bonus from Faith even without using it to cast? I don't know what you mean. Oh, for the Gravelstone seal. No, the way it works is it has a passive buff on it that boosts Dragon Cult incantations. That's how it works. Like it's just passive. So it doesn't matter if you're using it to cast or not. As long as you have it out, then you'll get the buff. And magic and sorceries and miracles and stuff throughout Souls games have kind of like there's always been stuff like that. It's kind of weird. I don't think it's well balanced at all, but that's just how it is. They've had that for a long time, where you like just put something in your offhand and you're gonna get a huge buff from it. You know, they probably I don't know if it's intended to be like that. I have no idea.
Yo-yo.
What happened there? I didn't see. Maybe was I out of range? It's so funny that we would just one-shot Leyndell with this. What ended up happening there? Oh, this. Oh, okay. Yeah, that sometimes happens with this spell, where if I think it's if you don't lock on in time, the other projectiles just go straight. It's kind of annoying. Grape Thrower, thanks for the 4-month Prime sub, dude. I guess I can swap this, but. Holy. Gonna rest again. But yeah, that's basically how I got hit to Yolan, actually. Where something like that happened, but I was looking at my spells and worried about swapping them rather than actually looking at the boss or the enemy. That's exactly what happened. So I gotta, I don't know, somehow have to not do that. You want a Lightning Spear free aim only run? I find it really fun to free aim, dude. But because Elden Ring, they increased the lock-on range significantly. That's probably because of the open world and stuff, I would imagine. But I think it's fun to free aim stuff. So I'm almost a little upset that they increased the lock-on range. I think it's way better game design to have longer lock-on range like that, but it's kind of fun to not do it. I guess you can always just not lock on, right? But what I've decided here is that I'm not going to do the little skip because this is too late in a run to try that. Like, it's very safe, but I'm just going to go around the proper way here. Get this grace. I don't know if it's faster to get to the Turtle Pope from here or through the Academy, but this is probably like a safer way to go. For probably similar amounts of time. Actually, this is probably faster. I don't know. No hit runs always make the game look so casual. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you know the best way to take things down, basically. Because these games give you so many options, and there's a lot of variety on different builds. And when you have everything made this efficiently, then it looks like a joke. And I mean, especially we're level 185 right now, and we've already cleared the main DLC bosses and stuff. No, actually, speaking of that, I wonder which boss is the last remembrance we kill. Probably the Ancestor Spirit. But yeah, we're a very high level, and we're just coming back to clear out all these areas, basically, right? Red Potato, how's it going, dude? Strat's a little weird. But it works. If I do a charge there, it doesn't work for some reason. Like, I don't know if it's just too much damage, and then he teleports away. We start the run like we start the run as any normal character. We start as Prophet though, just because this is an end camp build. Yeah, someone was asking about Flame Gaming Strength earlier. Howl Shibariri is just a better version on a no-hit run because it's a higher percentage. It also lasts longer, and it's for all damage types. Howl is just objectively better for no-hit, but on a normal playthrough, Flame Gaming Strength is probably better because you don't want to be taking more damage, which is what Howl does, but yeah, Howl is for all damage types. It lasts for, I think, is it 40 seconds? It used to only last like 20. It used to be terrible, but they buffed it. But I think it's 40 seconds, and it's 25% on all damage types rather than just physical and fire at 20%, which is what Flame Gaming Strength is. So it's just simply better. Hachi, thanks for the 25-month Prime sub, dude. And especially since we're not on this run, we're using holy damage, lightning damage. I mean, we also do use fire, but holy and lightning don't get boosted by Flame Gaming Strength, so we just don't get it. It's good. It's good for like normal no hit runs because it's fast to get, low faith requirement, and usually you're only dealing physical damage anyway, so it's fine. I agree. I think Flame Grimmer Strength is way too generous. I think it's what I would like to see it. What I would like to see instead of like a single buff that boosts all damage, I'd rather see each damage type have their own kind of like individual buff. So Flame Grimmer Strength boosts fire damage, and you know, like Terra Magica, I guess could be the magic boosting one, but maybe there could be another one on top of it. Yeah, Howl's 33 faith, yeah. But I think that'd be better instead of just one that buffs all of it. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes faith builds even better that you have those options. Like magic builds aren't in Souls games. Magic builds aren't usually about having self buffs, right? It's just about like, dealing damage. Incants are usually the ones that have everything. They have offense. They have the like support with healing, self-buffing. Spells like Wrath Mafar and stuff. Yeah, flame. Yeah, only lasting 30 seconds is not great. What I would prefer just overall is make every single buff in the game weaker, but make it last longer. That's what I would do. So Flame Grimmer Strength, make it like 10% more fire physical damage, but for a minute and a half or something. I think that what it does is it prevents at least a little bit more the insane one-shot builds that people do. Which, like, it's not a bad thing that you can one-shot bosses, I don't think, but it makes it a bit more reasonable. But then it also makes it more normal playthrough friendly, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to use this buff, and it's going to last 90 seconds going into this fight, and I'm actually going to, you know, like, it actually lasts close to the duration of the full fight, instead of 30 seconds. Like, what is 30 seconds, dude? No normal playthrough fight lasts 30 seconds, unless you have an insane build, or it's just an easy boss or something. Yeah, this is hilarious. We don't even need a single buff on this boss, and look what we're about to do to him. Girlfriend says 30 seconds is plenty. True, actually. 30 seconds is pretty good. Around this branch. That's how you know the spell is broken. Like, not a single buff used right there. Not a single one. So it's not like that was buffing. It's just that's what this spell does. Like, it actually just does that. That's why it's so funny, that kill, I think. And that's not some Limgrave boss either. Like, that's Fortisax. That's a pretty... Why am I always going the wrong direction on these graces, dude? I guess I'll keep that on for a little bit. Yeah, I think Pest Thread Spears is the most insane spell in the game, dude. It has the highest DPS by far of anything. And Pest Threads is kind of like right there with it too, but it's actually just, it's insane, dude. Well, I think people kind of sleep on it a little bit is why maybe they haven't nerfed it. At least for normal pest threads, I think that's definitely the case, but I don't know. Because normal pest threads is hidden behind some quest that probably nobody does, because who cares? Do I have fire? I do. Okay. But yeah, we'll see about pest thread spears. I wouldn't, I mean, yeah, it is situational, and I think that's what's really nice about it. Is that a lot of stuff like Thorns, right? When Thorns was super OP, it's not like it's okay, it's only good in this one situation or something, or it's only good for this specific type of boss. It's literally broken on everything. So that's to me that's less fun because it's less balanced, as opposed to something like Pest Thread Spears being really fun to use because it's insanely strong, but then it's good only in certain circumstances. But I mean, it's a pretty common circumstance where it's a huge boss, basically. That's it. But yeah, I think it's more fun like that. And it's even the same with Rain of Fire at this point. Because Rain of Fire is at this point where it's good, it is insanely good. On the on big bosses that are weak to fire. Is it OP on those bosses? Maybe.
Maybe I'll give you the best.
But it's more fun when you have spells that excel at their own thing. And that's what makes them good, rather than just being one spell that's good at every single thing. Nice Lightning Spear is maybe one of those spells that's like, okay, well that's that's insane on everything, but kind of like Night Comet. It's like, okay, yeah, Night Comet's basically insane on everything.
Best nut ever.
Hachi, thanks for the... I said thanks for that for sure. Andy, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. And Rubino, thanks for the 14-month resub as well, dude. A few things I can do for this guy. I'll just do this. Oh. I didn't even know someone was up there. Oh, that's where the scythe is. Tedek, hopefully you feel better, dude. Yeah, I hope they miss every attack. That's the plan. Okay, why the Omen doesn't have full HP? It might be because maybe the... I don't know, earlier in the dungeon, the Omens do they fight, or maybe there's some dead ones? I don't know. Maybe he walked into the trap, dude. I think this Catacomb is probably supposed to have the Omens were trying to clear it out or something. I don't know. Who fucking knows, dude? Okay, we do actually want to one-shot this boss, though, because you don't want to be dealing with that magic attack, ideally, which happens all the time. I think we're getting to the point, like, at this point in the run, I think everything is basically a 0 difficulty on my spreadsheet. And it's like that for the next, 70 bosses, so it's a little boring now, but when you're actually at 0 hit and you're trying to get through this, it's not boring, definitely. Like, I'm going to be very focused at this point. Just it's about making sure you don't make a stupid mistake, because there's so many bosses, and there's so much swapping of my build that I have to do. It's making sure that I don't go in with the wrong physic, and then the boss survives, and it's like, oh fuck, dude, that wasn't supposed to happen. It's like, whoops, I forgot that enemy was there. Now I lost my run 10 hours in. Poison does actually count as in water, yeah. Yeah, so he's weaker to lightning slightly. 10%. Yeah, poison, like, so procs from the environment, like Lake of Rot and stuff, don't count as hits for no-hit runs. Or at least I don't count them. I don't think anybody does. Usually that's more of a just a no-damage thing. I think it does, Tom. On certain bosses, it definitely does. Yeah. I don't know what the requirement is for it, though. I think it might have something to do with an enemy being low enough to the ground or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it still does. I actually need this.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Insane how much worse no damage is than no hit in this game. I would totally disagree. I think the difference between no damage and no hit in this game is basically 0. Like, it depends what amount of content you're talking about, though. But it's actually the exact opposite. I think no hit in the Dark Souls games is the difference between no hit and no damage in Dark Souls games is much like it's not even close to this game. Like, this game is just basically the same. Right, so the main difference is, like, if you're talking about an any percent, the only difference is that you're using Unseen Form instead of Gambit, which I actually do that anyways. So my normal any percent route, I don't know if it's no damage, because I probably take some fall damage maybe somewhere, but it's basically a no damage route. All Remembrance is the same thing. The only difference, you just got to collect the Rot Boluses to going through Lake of Rot, which is really... Or you can just go the slower way and raise the platforms too. That also works. But the main thing in this game is that the fall damage is so much more generous than it is in Dark Souls games. So you're not, you know, in Dark Souls 3, for example, you fall off a tiny ledge and you take damage. And in this game, you don't have to worry about that. Mara, thanks for the 4-month Prime sub, dude. Also, Hex, thanks for the brand new Prime sub as well. Took damage from Nihil. Well, you don't even have to worry about that either. It's very, like, it's trivial to one cycle him without Red Feather needed at all. Right, like, even look at our damage on this run. I think for all bosses, no damage, it would still be not a big difference. Some of the scripts I do, like the consort script, and like, you wouldn't be able to do the same thing. That'd be the biggest change, but in terms of like tiers of difficulty of a run, I would say it's in the same kind of tier, like just slightly harder. As opposed to a run like Dark Souls 1 no damage, where you lose RTSR and you're missing just enormous amounts of damage. Or, in Dark Souls 2, where you gotta basically do a whole different route through the game. This game's pretty chill. It's pretty much just the same. Not even common as the kill that we do on this run, I don't need to use Red Feather for it. I just walk in, shackle twice, and then pest threads, and that's it. You don't need Red Feather for it at all. But yeah, the no damage runs in Souls games has definitely gotten easier since as the games have gone on. Like, just probably not intentionally, obviously, but that's just how it's happened. Are you starting? Well, Demon Souls no damage might be pretty simple, but I guess Dark Souls 1 is like definitely much different. Dark Souls 2 is different, and then Dark Souls 3, you kind of just cast Spook everywhere, but it's the same thing. And then now Elden Ring, it's like literally the same route, you know? The optimal route is actually just the same. No damage, region locked, level 1. Like a no hit, you're saying, or just doing that? Or oh well, yeah, I mean, I assume you mean full run. I could do that. I mean, trying to think if there would be anything concerning on that. I can't really think of anything. I feel like that'd be pretty straightforward. Like level 1 in this game is pretty. You just get access to so many sources of stats at level 1. Right. So if you're doing region locked, technically what you could do, well, you could get Grafted Blade. Which, how early can you use that? I guess for sure when you get to Caelid, you could use it. Where's my game lagging, dude? What the hell? Probably how I would do it, though, is just go with... Oh, shit, okay. Actually aggroed. I should cast Gambit there, I guess. Oh, shit, the whole fucking gang aggro, dude. Okay, use Gambit there. But yeah, the way I would do that is probably just go with basically any weapon I felt like for Godric, maybe like longsword or something, and then I'd probably just square off the whole way. Like square off makes things so simple. I can see your chat, yes.
maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Ken10, thanks for the 3-month Prime sub, dude. Yeah, for all bosses, no damage. Yeah, where would lava be a problem? One sec, you guys. Okay. You can just sprint through this whole dungeon, but probably not a great idea on this. Holy Sword buff. Yeah, using Golden Epitaph, if you have that up, or... Does Sacred Order work too? I actually don't even know. Probably. But yeah, it'll just make them permanently dead. I always find it so weird how they made it so that instead of... Like, it should have just... I think it should have just been any holy damage. That's what I would have done. Well, yeah, and Dark Souls, well, Dark Souls 3 is the same, right? If you're using holy, they just don't revive, or I actually can't remember somehow. But that's what I would have done. But maybe they thought that was too simple or something. Because it's weird to kill them with like Light of Mikola and then they just respawn after, you know? Wouldn't be lore accurate? Really? How would that not be lore accurate? So there should be one more Stone Sword key I need to get, but I don't really know where. Oh, it's from the Gelmir Merchant. When I did all bosses no hit the first time, I had written down the locations of every enemy in each dungeon, basically, dude. I'm gonna game it for this. Oh.
Maybe I'll give you
Heisman, thanks for the 46-month resub, dude.
Machine
Yeah, I'd
reset.
basically written down, because it was the first time I had been, you know, through some of the dungeons and stuff, right? So, or not on the actual zero hit run, but when I was writing for that. And so I basically wrote down everything. Which is why it took so long to route that the first time, because, like, could you imagine? Not knowing where basically anything is. And writing it from scratch. This time, much simpler. Like, it's only been a couple weeks now. Of sort of inconsistently streaming this. We're already in a state where I could easily just get the run next attempt, so. Yeah, this boss kind of sketches me out because the lock on here. Having weapon in left hand looks deeply wrong. I think you get used to it. But the reason I do it, because so many people wonder why, and it makes sense because normally you wouldn't do that, but there are good reasons to left-hand your weapon. First of all, when you're using a buff like Craigblade, that's why I say like left-hand your balls for no hit with using those weapons and that build, because if you're using a buff like Craigblade, it lasts for 60 seconds, right? If you're using Golden Vow Golden Vow Ash of War and Flame Grant Me Strength, you want to do buffs in an order where you use the longest duration buff first, so you can maximize the duration of all of them, right? So you want to go with the longest one first, which is Craigblade. But if you have Craigblade in your right hand, there's not actually a way to do that. You can't buff Craigblade first, because if it's in your right hand, then you would have to two-hand your, like, usually have it on a dagger if you're using, if you're using the Ash of War, you'd have it on a dagger, and you can't two-hand the weapon that has Craigblade on it, because then, or you can't two-hand the weapon, your offhand weapon, because then the Craigblade will go away, right? So you buff Craigblade in your offhand, and then you can one-hand the dagger, which gives the Ash of War priority, and then you can do that. But, so that's one reason. On this run, it doesn't really affect it that much, but the other reason is while you're on horse, it's impossible to two-hand your right-handed weapon, but you can two-hand your left-handed weapon, which is the main reason why I do it. I think I normally kill this guy, but I don't really know how. Yeah, there's 9 imps in this dungeon in 3 tiny rooms. It is, yeah, it's pretty high density, dude. Any downsides? There are no downsides. Not that I can think of, at least. But yeah, so yeah, you can two-hand your left-handed weapon while riding on horse. So the only way to two-hand your right weapon while on horse is by getting on the horse while you're already two-handing your right-handed weapon. So like right now. So if I put the torch out, like it's more for weapons you can't wield, right? So okay, let's do it with this one. So yeah, let's say I want to wield this and I'm on horse, right? I can't wield it because I don't have the strength requirement. There's nothing I can do to be able to wield the weapon. But if it's in my left hand, I can two-hand it, and now I can wield it. But you can't do that with right-handed weapons, just because of how it works. So. And on this run, we are using a weapon that I don't have the strength requirements for, so if I don't know, I need to horse kill something. Yeah, so I can't think if there's any more reasons than that, but those are like the two main reasons, I guess. And yeah, there are no downsides of it that I can think of. Really not overkill on this guy. The skip is so much more satisfying with this weapon compared to Hand of Millennia, dude. Like, isn't that just so clean, dude? So clean. Oh, shit, and I didn't get the grace. I didn't get the sentry torch, and I think I need it. I definitely need it. Is there a return entrance in here? Ah, there is. Okay. We'll save some time. How long would an all bosses God run take? Well, what games is God run? Like, you kind of have to be more specific. If you mean all of them? I don't know. It would be really long. Yeah, like Sekiro, if you're counting mini bosses, is a pretty damn long run, I think. Most of the Dark Souls games, their all bosses runs are about an hour and hour 50 minutes or so. But then you have Dark Souls 2, which is like 3 to 3.5 hours. Obviously, this run's like 12 at this point. Maybe, yeah, probably around 12, this one. So I don't know how long that works out to, but it's a run. It is a run that's doable. There's no question about that, dude. I would not be shocked at all if somebody eventually does that. I don't know if it'll be me who does that. Probably not, but possible. Dark Souls bosses are hate compared to Elden Ring bosses. Well, for no hit runs, it's not really all that it's about, right? Because it also matters what you have access to. It's not just the boss movesets that are the concern. It's like, okay, in this game we have access to these absurd builds that just trivialize any boss. Like Morgoth's a good example, right? That's one of the harder movesets they've made of any boss, probably, but it doesn't matter because you just kill them so fast anyways. Why do I keep doing that? But yeah, I think I do think that's a fun part about this game, though, is that you can do this, but then you could also have, you know, fights like we did on the Master Run in this game, where it's like actual decent fights, and the movesets are really fun and stuff. For the most part, I mean, Fire Giant and Godskin Duo and fucking Renala, and like there's some not fun bosses, but at least with the DLC, that's kind of diluted a bit because they added a good boss in the DLC for the most part. Rolana, Mesmer, Consort now. Midra. Vale. Well, yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's definitely some good ones. Yeah, also literally 11, or it's like, how many, I think there's 8 NPC bosses or something like that. Yeah, owns. Yeah. Really, you need a buff when using the spell, right? For a proper end game boss, surely you need a buff. Yeah, it's not very often bosses survive that many lightning spears with all those buffs. But Electo just has way too much health for some reason. The assassins are pretty fun, but I really don't think, especially by the time you get to Electo, you've already fought probably at least a few assassins, right? I really don't think they needed to make that fight so long, but they did. At one point, I was able to hit this this summoner up on the ledge there with Light of Mikola from all the way down here, but I haven't been able to do it since then. Like, I've been able to do it a single time. So now what I do is I just kill the skellies and then... you know what? This actually looks really sick what we do here. As I miss. Did I get him? Like it's just cool how you float in the air there. We just have enough runes for another level up, but doesn't matter at this point, obviously. Also, you know what? Because I had the Memory of Grace, if you guys remember earlier in this run, when we were in that Altus dungeon getting the Sacred Scorpion, or the Lightning Scorpion charm, I ended up having to Memory of Grace because I didn't have a Stone Sword key or whatever. Or, well, I guess the main issue was just I didn't level up. And I should have before going in that dungeon, and I lost like 400k or something, and that was earlier in the run where that would have gotten me like 5 levels or something. Maybe it was 300k, 350. That actually messes up it messed up my stats for the Dragon Barrow Tree Spirit, because I need exactly 70, wait. I think I need exactly 77 int for him or something like that, or maybe it's 67. But I need a specific amount so that he doesn't survive with 1 HP, or he survives with literal 18 HP. And I went there and I had 1 lower int than I needed, and of course he survived with 1 HP, so, or 18. Doesn't actually matter, but just for the live run, it would be nice to not have that happen. I love Rain of Fire. I'm sure FromSoft, if they saw this run, they'd be happy that Rain of Fire is seeing the light of day. The person, like fucking Jimmy, who was the one who buffed it, surely. He's like, oh my god, he's using the spell, dude. I changed that number. I was the one who did that. A spell that used to not even kill a single wildlife at max faith with like good buffs. Used to not even kill him, dude. And now it one-shots every avatar in the game, basically. Or, I mean, every single one it actually does, yeah. I think. Variana, thanks so much for the raid. How was your stream? I appreciate that. What were you up to? We are simply steamrolling through the game at this point. Probably a good idea to gambit here. Yeah, I think this route is really fun, dude. And there are some people who said this run's like kind of boring and stuff, which is fair. But if you compare this to the other all bosses run I did, this run is so much more interesting because imagine this run, except I'm literally using the exact same weapon for everything. Every boss, every side boss, the exact same weapon, because that's what that other run was. I was just using the Beast Jaw. I was just going in, killing the boss. Moving on to the next boss, using the Beast Jaw. At least on this one, we get a nice variety of... Is he still alive? We get a really nice variety of builds here. A bunch of different spells, all this stuff. It's much more interesting. Because, yeah, before, it was just walk up to boss with Stone Barb, and I don't even know what other tier I had in, but Stone Barb tier, stun them, and just keep spamming. Like, that's all it was. Okay, what are we? Fire and Fuse is good. The int level up is because we're using the Golden Order seal. So look at the incant scaling, 393. 355 on the erdtree seal, which is only faith. It's because we got so many extra levels on this that... Oh, wait, Bellbearing Hunter, whoops. Okay, I guess I'll just go kill this guy while I'm here. kind of went to the wrong place though. I thought it was BBK, not BBH. Bonk. Bonk. Yeah, this run's also a lot more efficient too than the last one I did. Even though obviously this run's gonna be longer because there's DLC and all that stuff. I'm doing this much more efficiently. I normally use multi-layered Ring of Light here. I'm gonna try Light of Mikola though. It should be fine. As long as I time it correctly. It's the only thing that matters. Oh, fuck. That was the wrong. You probably want a double buff here. Probably gonna end pretty soon, you guys. I did say it was gonna be a super short stream today, and I was not lying. I guess we're gonna melee this one. Yeah. But what I'm gonna do this weekend though is whenever I can find time, I'm gonna finish up this run. Well, I'm gonna try to, and then next week we should be able to just jump in immediately, start doing runs. I think. But I don't want to rush into it, right? Like, if things aren't perfectly good, I don't want to start doing attempts if I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure about this yet. So there's going to be some things from this run that I need to iron out, like all the stuff I got hit on, and I want to test the horn scent thing. I'll try to do it if I have time this weekend, but I'm not sure if I will. Probably should have Knight's Resolve there first, but... Okay. We're at 160 now, so there's still like 50 bosses left. How many? What did we start today at? Does anyone know? Were we at like 110 maybe? Oh, usually it's multi-layered Ring of Light here as well. Yeah. I think it's nice here. Yeah, and I think our in-game time started at like 9.5 hours or something. Like that's how quickly the end of this run goes. It really just flies by because we're just one-shotting everything, so. Well, Sacred Order actually isn't a body buff. It's kind of, I don't know if it's bugged or what, but it's a weapon buff. But for some reason, even if you have it in your offhand, it just, like it might, I don't know. It gives you the bonus damage to undead, so. But I don't, Sacred Blade doesn't work the same way though. Sacred Blade's also a weapon buff, but it doesn't just, it does give you the bonus, but only with the weapon, I think. Have I ever been recognized in person? No. I have not. Probably don't even need all these buffs here, because this guy gives you a lot of time to attack. Have I ever been recognized not in person? I guess so. Alex, thanks for the 13-month Prime sub, dude. This is about how my first playthrough went on all these undead enemies in the DLC. Because I knew about this build with Golden Epitaph and Sacred Order and Sacred Blade, I just one-shotted fucking all of them, I think, dude. Yeah, with the Holy Hammer, exactly. The Sacred Blade. Okay, maybe I'll just finish up this little, like, branch of the run with Dancer and Marga, and then I'll probably end for today. I'll put lightning in there. Oh, I think it's a good idea on every NPC boss to have Wrath from Afar just in case. I think this is one of those bosses though that, if I was on a live run, I probably would go back and get it just in case. But this is one of the easier NPC bosses, so, or the one of the ones that are less likely to do anything weird. Such a cool secret. For it to only be an NPC boss, yeah. At least you get a cool weapon, though. I would have just rather no boss at all, honestly. I would say.
Maybe.
Mustafa, thanks for the 23-month resub, dude. Yeah, we should get Rathmar just in case. See, this boss just input reads and backsteps constantly, so.
Maybe. I'll give you the best.
Mr. Me, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. You pick up Sacred Order. It's in, on the way to the Perfumer Misbegotten. It's a scarab right on the path. Yeah, there's no question for all bosses. It's worth it. Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. No, like 100%. Yeah, so the hits, I got hit by Yolan, who's the NPC before you fight Ymir. And it's because I was kind of like messing around with my spells. I was scrolling through them and I was just kind of spamming Wrath from Afar at her. And I didn't realize that she would do the guard. She could block it and do the guard counter, which has the projectile. Like, I just didn't even, I knew that shield did that because I've tested it out before, but I didn't consider that she could do it and hit me with it, but I wasn't really looking at her, and I just randomly got hit, and I was like, holy shit, dude. I got hit by her, and I got hit by Millennia because I did the sleep in phase 2, but I missed the throwing knife, and her poise reset, and she didn't stun, and then she went into Waterfowl, and I was in the middle of a charge attack animation, so Two very correctable hits. That's a little concerning. It's not. Okay, I think I'm probably going to end for today, guys. The insane 1 hour, 45-minute banger stream, dude. But yeah, I've got some stuff to do today, so... Well, at least it was kind of compressed content, dude. We did get through like 60 bosses almost, but... Yeah, so like I said, I think next week, like no matter what, next week we're going to start attempts at this, but I'm hoping we can start it like early in the week, I think, dude. Like Tuesday would be nice to start doing runs, I think. Surely we'll just get it immediately. But yeah, the goal, my goal is to get it before, I'm going to be gone for a lot of October. Like basically after a week in October, I'm going to be gone until like later in the month. So I want to get it before then, just because like it's going to be so painful if the run's not done, and I'm just going to be like constantly thinking about that whole time. And I'm just like, man, I can't stream. But anyways, that's the goal. So we basically have, how many weeks is that? Like just over 2 weeks, like 2.5 weeks or so. Philin, thanks for the brand new sub, by the way. But go side to Kuzoodle, you guys. He's playing Anatria. Looks like he's where I've already been through. Like, I wonder how far through the game I am. Anyone know? Just kind of curious. I think we're like 8 or 9 hours into it. It's pretty fun, dude. I'm having fun with the game so far. It's not like the next big fucking game or anything, but it's fun enough. But yeah, have a good weekend, you guys. I'll be back on Monday's the plan. And take care, guys. I'll see you all then.